She didn't just raise a son, she raised an accomplice. In the annals of true crime, few figures loom as sinister and calculating as Sante Kimes, a woman of undeniable charm and razor-sharp intellect. She moved through high society, leaving a trail of deception in her wake. From petty shoplifting to elaborate insurance scams, her early life was a masterclass in manipulation. She was a chameleon, effortlessly blending into any milieu, her captivating smile masking a cold, insatiable greed. To those who met her, Sante was sophisticated, magnetic. But beneath the veneer of elegance lay a predatory mind, always seeking an angle, always planning the next score. She believed the rules didn't apply to her. And tragically, she taught her son to believe the same. Kenneth Kimes was not merely her child, he was her project. From his earliest days, Sante meticulously sculpted him into her perfect partner in crime. She controlled every aspect of his life, fostering an unshakable, almost pathological loyalty. Education was secondary to her lessons in larceny. Compassion was a weakness. The world was theirs for the taking, and Kenneth was her chosen instrument. He was taught to forge, to lie, to exploit. He lived in his mother's shadow, a loyal enforcer, an obedient son. Was Kenneth a victim of his mother, or a willing killer? The line blurred with every passing year, every shared deception. Together, they embarked on a decades-long rampage of fraud across the United States. From forged checks cashed in unsuspecting towns to staged car accidents for insurance payouts, their schemes grew bolder, more audacious. They targeted the wealthy, preying on loneliness, vulnerability, and trust. They bought mansions with bad checks, lived lavishly, then vanished, leaving behind mountains of debt and legal headaches. They were ghosts in the system, leaving only echoes of their passage. They believed themselves untouchable, but that was only the beginning. Their sinister dance led them to the gilded cages of New York City. Sante, ever the opportunist, set her sights on Irene Silverman, an 82-year-old socialite, former Radio City Music Hall rockette, and owner of a sprawling Manhattan townhouse. Silverman, a woman of grace and considerable wealth, was looking for a short-term renter. Sante, posing as a sophisticated businesswoman named Nugent, moved in. Her objective was clear: gain control of Silverman's assets, particularly her valuable townhouse. The tension in the air was palpable, though unseen. Silverman's life, once a vibrant tapestry, was about to be unraveled by a predator in plain sight. Then, Irene Silverman simply vanished. One day, she was there. The next, she was gone. No goodbyes, no trace. Her friends, accustomed to her meticulous nature, grew increasingly concerned. Meanwhile, Sante and Kenneth remained in the townhouse, claiming Silverman had gone on an impromptu trip to Mexico. They began clearing out her belongings, selling her furs, her art, her most cherished possessions. The narrative they spun was flimsy, their actions chillingly brazen. They treated the townhouse as their own, even as the silence of Irene Silverman grew deafening. What investigators discovered next was even darker. Long before Irene Silverman's disappearance, another body had emerged from the shadows of their past. David Kazdin, a Los Angeles businessman, vanished in 1990. He had helped Sante secure a loan for one of her properties, an act of kindness that would cost him his life. Years later, when the investigation into Silverman's disappearance intensified, a shocking connection surfaced. Kazdin had threatened to expose Sante's fraudulent activities. He knew too much. His disappearance, once a cold case, suddenly burned with a new, terrifying heat. Investigators began to connect the dots, stretching from New York's Upper East Side to the sun-drenched streets of Los Angeles. The unraveling was meticulous, painful. Detectives pieced together a mosaic of evidence: Kenneth Kimes' fingerprints in Silverman's townhouse, receipts for items belonging to Silverman, chilling notes from Sante to Kenneth detailing instructions for getting rid of problems. The evidence mounted, painting an undeniable picture of murder and manipulation. On July 5, 1999, Sante and Kenneth Kimes were finally apprehended. The mother and son, bound by a lifetime of crime, were now bound by handcuffs. Their reign of terror was overdought, or so it seemed. In the courtroom, their dynamic was on full display. Sante, defiant and theatrical, attempted to control the narrative, even from behind bars. Kenneth, torn between loyalty and self-preservation, eventually confessed to both murders, implicating his mother. He testified that Sante had strangled Irene Silverman, and he had disposed of her body, which was never found. He also confessed to shooting David Kazdin under his mother's command. The trials were sensational, revealing a mother's horrifying grip on her son, a bond twisted into an instrument of death. Sante Kimes received a life sentence. Kenneth, too, faced life behind bars. Their story stands as a chilling testament to the corrosive power of manipulation, where loyalty becomes a chain and love transforms into a weapon. They stole lives, not just possessions. And in the end, they stole each other's freedom. What kind of mother raises a son to kill?